Alright, this is lesson 2 of the Afrobeat production course for beginners, and in this video we'll be looking at basic chord structures. To begin with, let's look at what chords are. So when you stack up 3 or more notes in a structured format and play them together, the sound generated is called a chord. Now let's dive into 3-note chords. They are called triads. By now, we know the notes belonging to the C major scale. They are all white keys. Let's build a C major chord. The major chord is built on the root, that's the first, major third, and then the perfect fifth. Here is our C major chord. Other ways to build a major chord is to count the intervals between notes. So from the C, we count 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And from the E, we count 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. Well, all we need to know is to learn how to build the major chords on all 12 keys, and we can derive all other triads from the major chord. Now let's look at the minor chord. With the same major chord structure, you may have to move the third, that's the middle note, a step to the left. We have a C minor chord. So that's the pattern you need to remember. But with the help of FL Studio Scale Highlighting, let's see other ways we can build these chords. I'll just open a sampler track, hit the drop down menu and select the major scale. And then I'll select C and all the notes of the C major scale will be selected as well. I'll stretch it to be 8 bars long. Do Ctrl+C to copy, Ctrl+V to paste, and then Ctrl+arrow up to bring it up an octave. Now on our instrumental track, just hit Alternate+V to activate the ghost channel. Or just hit the drop down menu and select it from here. So to build major chords with this procedure, select the root and skip a note in the scale. So I'll skip the D and then select the E. And then skip the F and then select the G. Here is our C major chord. Now I'll be using the same guide to build all the chords in the C major scale. You know, chords built on the scale that fit perfectly into it are called diatonic chords. So these are all the chords associated with the major scale. So in order to identify the major and minor chords in this scale, you just look at the pattern. If there is a huge gap from the root to the third, it makes it a major chord. So we know that the 1, the 4th, which is the F, is a major chord. Likewise the 5th. So we have 3 major chords and then 3 minor chords. So what about the 7th? It doesn't take the structure of a major or minor chord. So what chord is it? Because with the major chord, you have 4 steps to get to the third, and then another 3 steps to get to the 5th. So a B major chord will consist of a B, D sharp, and then an F sharp. And a B minor chord will be dropping the third a half step. But with this chord, you will notice the third and then the 5th has been dropped a half step. This makes it a diminished chord. Now let's take a look at other triads. So we will basically build a major chord and then derive the other triads from it, like I said earlier. So if we have a major chord, this is the C major chord, and this is a diminished chord. I just dropped the third and then the 5th. So a major chord again, and then we have a raised 5th. It makes it an augmented chord. The third is dropped to the 2nd. It makes it a suspended 2nd or a sus2 chord. So a major chord with the third raised to the 4th. We have a suspended 4th chord or a sus4 chord. So in the next tutorial, when we are looking at chord progression, I'll dive into how to use these chords to make the chord progression interesting. Lastly, let's talk about chord extensions. So we will be adding up notes on top of any triads to extend these chords. So adding the 7th degree to a major chord makes it a major 7th chord. What if the chord is a minor chord? Sounds okay, but not really satisfying. So I'll bring the 7th note a half step down to make it a dominant 7th. Now this sounds more pleasant and satisfying the sad emotion associated with the minor chord. Now let's extend these chords further. So skipping the C and then adding the D makes it a 9th chord. We'll just maintain the structure of the 9th chord and then add the 11th note to it. It makes it 11th chord. And maintain the structure of the 11th chord and then add the 13th note to it. It makes it a major 13th chord. So extended chords add more color and depth musically. It makes the harmony extra rich. So that will be all for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we will dive into chord progression and apply whatever we've covered so far and start making melodies. Like always, thanks for watching and see you in the next lesson.